Your attention, please. To discuss the precept, which is a public matter, we now have to go back into public session. But just be mindful that what we have discussed under the private session remains in this room. So I propose now from the chair that we go back into public session. Is there a second? Deputy Mayor. Those in favour? Anybody against? One against. And any abstentions? Okay, that's carried. So we're now back into public session to discuss and set the budget and precept for 2026-27. Come back into public session. It was one against.
We're just going to go over all the rules in case anyone wants to come in or outside. Right now, Councillor Stokes made a very good point. One of the proposals in the report is that we make up the shortfall that is coming to us from the loss of the Which Haven grant, which will not happen this year. It will happen when Which Haven ceases to exist. So what we propose is that it should actually appear in the budget. It should appear in the budget as an income, and it should appear in the budget as an exit, as an expenditure as well. We haven't put it in. We've actually left both of those out. Same bottom line, but it should appear in there.
No, Joe, it was missed out. We haven't put you as it stands. You're having the cake and eating it. You've assumed that whichever we're going to provide 42,700. So you're asking for that money from the precept of our residents. You are getting that money, so therefore you don't need to take it off our residents in your precept.
We know that we're getting it.
Your choice,
yeah, we know
whether
we're
you
getting it, but the reason that it's essentially we will have to make up the money at some point, and the proposal is essentially to increase the precept for the value of the grant, so that we can pay for. I mean, actually, it's more likely to be cemetery works rather than maintenance. When at the finance meeting, we sort of talked about putting it toward maintenance, but actually, the cemetery works, which we do have to do in the next 12 months, is a better allocation of that.
It's not clear on your expenditure, so putting it to general reserves is not a clear identification of that process. So you've reserved by £42,000 worth of income coming in. You've under reserved by £87,000 of still income coming in, and you've over expended on the £20,000 for the seat covers for the so that's basically £140,000 that we don't need to take off our residents. We've increased the precept by 90 or 80 to £90,000 this per annum, and we've already just saved in this discussion alone 140,000.
This is a proposal as outlined that we.
But we're down to 5 minutes to discuss it. When this is actually a known meeting, then a known decision that needs to be made before the end of January every year. You're aware of my discussions with the finance committee, and I've said all these things, 20,000, the 40,000. I didn't know about the civil income until tonight's papers on another item. So none of this is clear. None of this is made clear in the finance, and it is unfair of us to ask us to make or add a precept of an additional £90,000 to Evesham residents when tonight we have garnered in £140,000. That's 80 with the SIL, that's 40 with the double accounting for the support grant, which you are getting, and 20,000 which I don't suggest you don't spend on foot covers.
Taking these things in turn, the covers over the Market Square
Yeah.
That was a condition of the money that the place board gave to the benches. We were hoping at the time, I think, that the place board would fund the covers over the benches in Market Square. That was part of the discussion. They actually wanted to replace all the benches in one go rather than some of them and fund the covers in the Market Square. And that was the agreement that
No, there was no agreement, but the agreement that was signed with UKSBF, because it was their funding for the place board through to Ridgehaven, was that the town council will commission a solution to the bird mess. Doesn't necessarily say what that solution is, and have we had solutions presented to us?
Not yet. It has been discussed at
So
various
it's not.
meetings.
So it's £20,000, an assumption that bird mess will cost us £20,000.
We have had quotations for it. That's something the minister will
But are we going to go down that hard cover?
Well, this is really drawn from discussions that were taking place at the time, which I think.
I just think
was
there's too
bad
much
in the state.
variation, Joe, insofar as we've identified this. This was discussed at Finance Committee, and it's not transpired into the precept that's before the members this evening.
I think we did mention it at the.
We did,
finance
didn't we?
meeting.
Yeah.
It did come up.
And the 42,000, and I admit that at the finance meeting I didn't know about the 87.8 something thousand. Otherwise I would have included that in my question.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
just
it's
think
quite a
that
few
we are
months.
overcharging our residents by 140,000 this year. We've just recovered that, so we don't need to increase our precept.
Well, it's up to members to have that discussion. Yeah.
Okay. Peter?
Could I refer council to the last page of the white documents? Unusually, both NALC and CALC have advised council do not set their precepts too low. If you want to read the rest of it, it explains why. Both NALC and CALC are notoriously parsimonious and really do not like to suggest anything otherwise. For them to suggest anything otherwise, as they have done, to me, means that they're ringing alarm bells for the future. I'd much rather have a cushion than 4 years from now suddenly realise that you've got a big shortfall.
No.
On the subject of cushions, Ridgehaven have agreed to pay for the Market Street bollards, which is very thankful, but they haven't agreed to maintain them. County Council currently aren't agreeing to maintain them. The worst thing that could happen with these bollards is someone runs into them, they break, and we end up with a load of broken bollards and a political football of who's going to end up paying them. So I can see a world where someone runs into them and then we will have to foot the bill to pay for them and then fight it out with whoever, Unitary, Ridgehaven, County Council, whoever it is, to get the money back. But we need the money to be able to do that to start with. So this additional a little bit of money may actually just cover us for this unfortunate eventuality if it does happen. I wish I could see it happening fairly quickly, to be honest.
Yeah.
Point two.
I just want to make. Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I just want to make a quick point on what was just said. When we get these bollards up, might be an idea to have some security cameras nearby, so any idiot who drives into them and smashes them, we've got their number plate and we can claim off there.
No, I appreciate what you're saying,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this is not the agenda item.
No,
I
no,
appreciate
no,
the comment's been brought up, and in the event of an accident that has to be financed, it has to come from somewhere, but that is not within the part of this discussion tonight. Mark?
I entirely agree with what Peter has said. We are in uncharted waters and there is a storm coming. We need to be prepared.
I'd quite like a lifeboat.
Okay, so I'm looking now at the last page. The committee is asked, or the council is asked to A, agree the budget for 2026-27. I will propose it from the chair. Do I see a second? Robert Hale. Those in favour? Those against? Any abstentions? Come now to B, set the precept for 2026-27 as outlined. That the precept be set of £972,357 drawn from taxation. This would result in an annual charge to a band D property of £100.69. A monthly increase of 65 pence per month, or approximately 15p per week. Again, I will propose it from the chair. Do I see a second? Those in favour? Those against? Any abstentions? One abstention. Right. We have seriously run over time. Obviously, there was a lot to discuss. A thought for the future is that we should not have one of these sort of meetings on the same night as a committee meeting. It has happened. We've had to do it. Peter, again, apologies for overrunning. We'll give you, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you're in the chair for the planning meeting.
I look forward to the challenge, Mr. Mayor.
And I now draw this extraordinary meeting to a close.
Let's hope there's nothing on the agenda that's too controversial.
Those four.
Yes, I was thinking that.
Yeah, exactly. We're all thinking exactly the same.
Well, yes, I didn't see it being anything other than conscientious. Pretentious. Well, what's the question? We got there in the end. That's what he is. He was there was an enforcer against him, and so he said to come with it, but he's also got a bit of drink.
What if you are worse? But I don't know whether it's done.
What's that?
Somebody throwing you out.
Well, that's so long about it.
I could buildings. You could check with enforcement. Oh. In fact, I could check with enforcement. It's not a planning matter. It's an enforcement matter. So we didn't get but he's going to ask for the area because it has been reported. Enforcement will send the area. Thanks very much.
I'm sure it will be.
Because I really thought I was here and I didn't know whether. Oh, I'm not like, oh, I used to think you are. But Robert is.
I'm going on a holiday.
Let me just give you one, and if I can stay, you stay.
I'll be here from
Well, I think I will, yes. Yeah.
So it's,
Might as well.
it's,
Hello.